Alita Battle Angel brought one of manga's most beloved heroines to life. And we've got all the answers to your questions about Alita's future right here. Alita Battle Angel is a franchise with a fiercely loyal global fan base. First following the manga and original video animation by creator Yukito Kishiro, debuting in 1990, and then the 2019 adaptation written by Cameron and Laeta Kalogridis and directed by Robert Rodriguez. Long after the great conflict known as The Fall, which destroyed Earth that we once knew, the story is set in Iron City in the year 2563. In the movie, Dr. Dyson Ito, played by Christoph Waltz, discovers the head and torso of a teenage cyborg girl in a junkyard. Dr. Ito is working to bring this girl back to a world where humanity and cyborg technology coexist. He addresses her as Alita, and we later find out that Ito's daughter Alita, who was murdered, was intended to occupy the body she now possesses. Rosa Salazar's Alita is born again, but not revived. Flashbacks plague her, but her past is a mystery. She soon discovers how strong and capable she is, but she doesn't understand how or why, or even what she might be. Alita has no memory of her past, but she discovers one thing about it. She is an expert in the long-forgotten cyborg martial art known as Panzerkunst. Just the name provides hints. Translated roughly from German, Kunst is art, while Panzer is the term for tank or war machine, the martial art for a mecha. A group of online serial killers attack Alita and Dr. Ito in a crucial scene from the movie. Alita's previously hidden training re-emerges instinctively, allowing her to dispatch two of her attackers, while a third manages to flee. During the altercation, she has a flashback in which she sees herself fighting as a soldier in a war that she was previously unaware even existed in another world. Ito tells her that he is a hunter-warrior, a bounty hunter, who goes after people who attempt to prey on civilians by attacking them and stealing their robo-prosthetic implants. Alita learns more about her past in other flashbacks that occur throughout the movie, such as the one in which she and a cyborg battalion scaled the cable tethers to the floating city of Salem. Although Alita Battle Angel tells the complete tale of Alita's awakening, revelation of her humanity and mission, and struggle through Iron City, in many ways it feels like a setup for Alita's confrontation with Nova and her journey to leave Iron City and reach Salem. Rodriguez, Cameron, and the company are not finished with this universe, but it is still too early to say whether they will have the chance to continue the Alita Battle Angel saga and travel to Salem. Alita is introduced in this movie and given a human face, and as a result, she is now prepared to fight back and fulfill her destiny. We cannot predict a release date because the movie has not yet been officially announced. We are aware that it will take time though. Sadly, there have not been any serious discussions about a sequel. Robert Rodriguez, who directed the film, is currently working on the Book of Boba Fett, but he mentioned in an interview that he may be able to begin on the sequel once he is finished with the Star Wars franchise. Of course, this is only possible if James Cameron, the producer, and one of the writers, is also involved. But it doesn't seem like the well-known director can wrap his head around a sequel for Alita Battle Angel because he is still working on the Avatar prequels. Before we go any further, we wanted to let you know that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. We don't expect to see a sequel in the upcoming 2 years. Even if the film were to be remade right away, the shooting process, particularly the post-production stage, would take several years. The first film was produced between October 2016 and February 2017, but it wasn't released in theaters until February of 2019, 2 years later. Because of this, it can be difficult to predict when the sequel will be released. If everything proceeds as in the first film, Alita Battle Angel 2 won't arrive until at least the end of 2024, but it could happen as early as 2025. Or as late as 2026. Moreover, the sequel's cast has not yet been announced. However, we can expect that the majority of the characters from the previous season will return for the cast of Alita Part 2. Rosa Salazar would return to the role of Alita because she adores it so much, not just because she plays the lead, "I would play Alita till my last breath," she said. Christoph Waltz has stated that he would return for a sequel, so we can anticipate him to reprise his role as Dr. Dyson Ito, Alita's adopted father and a scientist and bounty hunter. After being set up at the very end of the film, Edward Norton ought to return as the mysterious Nova. Rodriguez admitted that casting Nova was difficult because his presence is really for the setup of a sequel. They ultimately cast Norton in the small, non-speaking role because they wanted to make sure it was filled with someone that they would want to work with on the fictional Alita Battle Angel 2. Clive Lee, a different character from the original draft, wasn't included. We might see them in a sequel because the director said, "I figured we should save him for a sequel," but it's not clear who would play them. Alita Battle Angel unquestionably paves the way for a sequel. Alita's discovery of her berserker past, her developing relationship with Father Ito, her improvement at Motorball, and her romance with cyborg jacker Hugo are all topics covered in the film, but they all exist quite literally in the shadow of a larger narrative. All of the characters except Alita constantly yearn to leave Iron City and travel to the city of Salem. Nova, a criminal high up in Salem, who by the end has motivated Alita to travel upwards, lingers as a background presence throughout. When Hugo dies while attempting to climb to the city, he sends Grushika after her, and Alita makes a promise to find a way up to Salem to kill the bad guy. The movie ends with her starting this quest and winning Motorball to get her to pass up. Naturally, Alita's journey to Salem and confrontation with the cunning Nova would be the first stop on any story arc in Alita 2. Nova is the big bad guy of the Alita universe, watching down on Iron City from his throne. And although he has his puppets to do his bidding, he is the villain Alita is desperate to get her hands on. When we last saw the titular cyborg hero, she was raising her blade in the air, ready to face Nova in Salem, the mystical city in the sky. The first Alita film ended on such a cliffhanger that it had to have been written in such a way that a sequel would be inevitable. Alita is very frustrated. Hugo, the young man Alita has fallen in love with, was shredded to pieces by a serrated defense ring in the movie's climactic scene. Hugo was killed by Nova while attempting to enter the promised land of Salem.
Thank you for saving me.
Of course, this came after Alita was compelled to take Hugo's head and modify him as well. Relationships can indeed be messy at times. It remains to be seen if Alita will simply exact revenge for Hugo's passing or search for his dismembered body. She has already fixed him once, so she will likely want to do it again. And it would be possible to revive Hugo as a robotic hybrid again, with the help of her sort of adopted parents, Ito and Dr. Skrein. And because of this, you need to smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. All things considered, we might be in for a very long wait before visiting Iron City again. We wouldn't even want to speculate on a release date for Alita 2 because it hasn't even been confirmed. But once it has, we know it will take at least 3 years to develop and produce. You can keep yourself amused until 2026, right? See you in the next video.